really playing bodyguard right now to 4 Angry Men. Kanina Power looking to mount up and roll across to 4 Angry Men's position as Bigatron continues to take fights across the way. Footballists trying to defend their position as well. And in come the cavalry. It's 4 Angry Men to fall, and Kanina Power rides strong towards the northern side of this road.
Yeah, Footballers and Kanina Power team up for just a brief second to take that 4M. Nade comes over the top, one back that way too. Axa just getting in the heel. Nade's clearing out zones. Gonzo hits a nice one. Again, now Zuxi looking to that position. Na'Vi looking to take control of the eastern side. Secret Jin and Team Secret here. Secret Jin with 2 players, and I believe it is Team Secret with just the one left alive in eye shots.
Out in the blue as well, maybe looking to try and find anything he can. Matic spots Elites United team on the southern edge, who have all 4 players alive, but with Cray going down, that's down to 3 in action. Uxie pulls out the bolty. Looks for the shot over towards Burner. Not quite able to get it just yet. The angle not so good there. That's Zeus eliminated on the south side. They will no longer be a factor moving forwards. Bigatron still in their compound, still looking okay. Abrupt Slayer's a little bit further south, looking less than peachy as Leon gets knocked. Microboy looking to push forwards with Ryzen on the hillside, but an aid from heaven stops them for just a moment. Microboy gets rattled down by the Micro Uzi, and Bigatron, they pushed out of their compound and pay the price.
Abrupt Slayer's been having some good games on Miramar, looking to continue that trend here on to this match in league play. Bigatron, one of the biggest teams around. Abrupt Slayer's taking fights against them. Smokes are sent out, trying to provide some cover to the rest of the team moving backwards. Leon very low, will have to go for a heal here. As we see this, Secret Jin trying to make their way over to the western shift on the circle. Na'Vi also making their way in. Elites United team on the south side. Now Abrupt Slayer's pushing up towards the players within the compound. They've not checked right as of yet.
You get the result to rise, and he's popping the heal immediately. Zuxi trying to draw all the attention his way. And moving upstairs, Abrupt Slayer's not quite finding out any of these players from Bigatron. Ryzen's got the heal off, and now he's back in action. Outside, he just go around and find heaven, looks for the spray, and Joker goes down. Ryzen's on a tear, Leon falls, and Bigatron handle this situation like it's no sweat off their back.
This is why Ryzen has been MVP 2 weeks in a row on the Super Weekend. It's for plays like that where it's necessary for him to pop off to ensure that Bigatron's run in a map continues forward. He does that so many times, and now they're controlling it down on the western side. Na'Vi making their way in. Kanina Power, Gonzo still going strong. Takes a couple of shots, will duck behind the UAs for just a brief second.
Saved by the pan there. Footballist looking to have their lone player find maybe another point into the circle. Doesn't have any first aids left, so really last chance there for Rom, and he is just going to tick away. No more to be found there for Footballist. 6th place for them. 5 teams remain. Eastern edge for Na'Vi, western edge for Bigatron. Elites United team trying to push through. Kanina Power make the cross.
Kanina Power have really held on this game. GZ though is behind them. Can go for a really couple big shots here. Maybe take out 2 players from Kanina Power and ladder up for Secret Jin. Nade's coming through, 7 kills total for Na'Vi, 4 players alive.
But 9 for Kanina Power. We said they're doing work. Gonzo goes down, however, and it might be the end of their run if they're unlucky here. Burner goes down to a Molotov. Elites United team spotted out by Bigatron as well, and they're caught out in the open with nothing to hold them down. Mecu hits the deck, and Ryzen looking to continue the spray, but can't quite finish it off just there. The ground covering out as Old Boy takes a knock, but it's traded. Nicely done there for Na'Vi. 1 for 1 as Microboy has fallen. That means there's 2 players up. 4 Bigatron, 3 players alive for Na'Vi. Secret Jin with just GZ and Axa trying to get this res onto Gonzo.
Na'Vi just going for a res of their own. Heals coming up. Ryzen on the top side. Zuxi a little bit out wide at the moment. It's going to be difficult for him to cross, but he has a vehicle to do it, and we've seen these mad dashes come through from Bigatron before. They currently own the hillside, but look at that. A circle shift will head down towards the Na'Vi. This is exactly what they needed, and with a shack in hand, it will be Bigatron who have to breach the edge of here, and really Na'Vi can just play shooting gallery.
Can Kanina Power play spoiler? That's the question, really. Are they going to be able to move through? A nice nade up over the top. Oh, just too high in the air. A little bit slower on that cook, and that would have been a double knock coming through for Bigatron, but Fortunately for Na'Vi, they keep their lives intact, although a lot of damage sent out.
The big thing for Na'Vi, though, is that now they know that that's what's happening, they can move it back outside of nade range and just wait for Bigatron to have to crest this lip. It kind of gives them a lot of information going forward. Bigatron's still with 3. Zuxi slowly making his way across. Another nade coming out from Luxi. See if it goes far enough.
Long onto Tixi.
What?
And he chows down on it. Luxi lands it. Beautiful stuff there. Brings them even in numbers. Gonzo goes down, gets flushed. Secret Jin trying to have a shout to get those placement points. Axa falls and Secret Jin get third. But this fight continues to rage on the hillside. Tixi should be able to get rest.
Should just be able to make it happen.
Nice.
Nice shot from Matic. Through the grass. There's smoke on top. Luxi takes a fair hit too.
Zuxi on his own right now. Of course, only 3 players for Bigatron alive. And has GZ spotted him? I'm not entirely sure. Could be an off angle, could be a spoiler there. But Na'Vi dropped the smokes, tried to control the zone more. Bigatron have to move forwards and Ryzen and Luxi alone.
Na'Vi just requesting the circle just closes a little bit quicker here because this game feels like it is going on for eons for them. They just want Bigatron off this hillside, off this dominant position.
Na'Vi holding the ridgeline, but gets spotted. Meca falls. It's Luxi to get to the knock. Secret Jin trying to survive as long as they can. Matic spots another one, takes down Luxi again. Zuxi and Ryzen now standing for Bigatron. Maybe look to res once more, but Ryzen's over the top. He's tried to make the dash. Zuxi's managed to find some cover, but for how long will he survive? It's Old Boy to get that flush, finds another as well, and now it's only snakes in the grass remaining as Tixi does go down. In come the off-angle as Zuxi finds it. GZ ladders up into second for Secret Jin. 12 kills found for Na'Vi. He gets the knock onto Old Boy, gets the flush as well, but Meku's there over the ridgeline. Will be able to secure it for Na'Vi, making their run for the final Super Weekend.
Really big game for them, and an even bigger game because they struggle on Miramar usually, and they make that one look so smooth. Very, very simple stuff coming through them. They're able to leapfrog on top of RQ, take that really, really crucial fight between them, which allows them to control the southeast side and move in from there. They only got that shift towards the end of that game as well. Other than that, they were fighting in from the eastern side versus Secret Jin versus Team Secret. Really, really good stuff. And do you know what it feels like? It feels like they've got Tixi on a bit more of a leash in this game. He's not making those crazy wide swings. He's not making those ridiculous rotations anymore. He is doing what he's best at, which is holding it down and hitting some really big shots.
Absolutely. It seems like they figured out how to adapt to the zones that they're in, how to poke on out and fill the gaps given to them. I mean, it's the immortal words of Bruce Lee, right? You know, you put water in a cup, it becomes the cup. Put water in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Water can flow and it can crash. Be like water, my friend. You will win every.
I like how you just whack this quote out and then do this. Now it makes sense.
Hey, Bruce Lee was a smart man.
Now it makes sense.
Hey, Bruce Lee was a smart man.
Apa cuk? Woi granat mate. Woi granat mate. Woi granat mate. Woi kanan bolong yuk. Woi kanan bolong yuk. Luruku gerak songo. Luruku gerak songo. Nggak nongol, Bos. Tuh nggak nongol, Bos. Tuh. Wah. Sekarat iku. Wah, enak kali no beli. Sekarat iku. Enak kali no beli. Bocil koyok musuh, Cuk. Warnane abang-abang, Cuk. Bocil koyok musuh, Cuk. Kanan abang-abang, Cuk. Bocil koyok musuh, Cuk. Kanan abang-abang. Kanan. Ojo nang kene pisan. Aku ngehil, Cuk. Ada Eli. Ojo nang kene pisan. Aku ngehil, Cuk. Ada Eli. Ojo nang kene pisan. Aku ngehil, Cuk. Cukup kiri, Rek. Cukup kiri, Rek. Wah, anjing. DPR bokep, Cuk. DPR bokep, Cuk. Tai. Bawah kanan ada. Bawah kanan ada. Cok lagi pencolotan, Cok. Lagi pencolotan. We are hero tonight. We are hero tonight. Ih, nyetrum, Cuk. Horor. Ih, nyetrum, Cuk. Horor. Rumis jam 8 to nek sing iku. Rumis jam 8 to nek sing iku. Cepetan, cepetan. Cepetan, cepetan. Oh. Wait. Oh. Wait. What the fuck? What the fuck? Dua. Apa sih? La la la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Mana itu YouTube kah? Mana itu YouTube kah? Opo sih? Kok ribut ay? Ribut ay. Jir. Den, bocil jari ini kangen, Cuk, main ambek awakmu, Cuk. Unfall. Modern kene, oh Denny kono. Oke. Engkau kuasain kene yo. Asline lo Satria njupuk kene, Pak. Asli, njupuk mobil nang kono. Dek gak wanian wek nang ngono wek. Njupuk mobil terus nang arah kene. Biyen lak ngono. Unfall, unfall. Unfall, unfall. Gak sadar diri, dikik kok karo admine. Mosok pindah. Lek anjir. Ono wong ta? Banting rene ae. Anjir, gak ono mobil anjir. Oh, ono cuk. Bangkai. Render bangkai. Nak ruins ta? Kira ono wong. Ditepong yuk. What the hell? Ditipu kawan sendiri anjir. Katanya ada orang. Weh, pingku kok 200? Sik. Ah, normal kan. Apa? Yo, ojo terlalu kadoan, Pak. Masalahnya zona jarang merono, mending awakmu mengisor ae nang ruins. Mending ruins. Enggak, sawangane kene turni ganti lokasi modern. Yo. Nantikan kejutannya, guys. Aku live loh iki. Ono uang dah. Jare gak ono. Kok nang nggonku kan? Ya aku looting kene. Nggak tahu anjir. Ngumpulnya nak nggone bocil ae. Koyoke gak ono wong ya, Cil, tapi mbok maneh aku wedi ngomong gak ono, Cik. rendernya ngeprank, Bos. Aku live loh iki. BTW. Gak apa-apa. Ngomong aja. Info aja, biar gak salah paham. Ali 3, sopo nih? Ya wis jir, Den gak gelem kali 3 Den. Nek ono DP rek. Boleh. Wah, Anda sangat beruntung, bro. Kono ono peluru hijau, Acil. Ya wis lah. Nggak tahu, jir. Cil, kon looting nang di, Cil. Kok waduh, Cil. Kali 3 aku 3. Aku OTW gak looting kok. Njupuk rumah L tok. Paling pos cilik tok, Cil, sing tak njupuk, Cil. Ono mobil kan, Vin? Ono kan? Peluru akamu piro, Cil? Cie, mau ditembak, cie. Yo, iki. Nak kono ya, Cil? Wes jupun kabeh peluru kurang atus iku. M4. Kawe lah. Kawe anjir. Kawe anjir. Senjata favorit anjir. Kali 3 yo. Gak aku wis payah kali 4 saiki. Pop ayah, pundak, lutut, kaki. Kali 3 nang tandaku. Iso delok nang history. Pecinta Dewi Persik iki. Ono wong ta? Ono wong. Ya ono wong rumah banjir. Mau lah diinfo wisan. Ya apa sih? Kawan kita tak cermat, Cuk. Makannya minum top one. Cuk, mobil. Masuk. Wah, koyo gak ono dia. Apa gelem peluru AK? Ki peluru AK. Nang ngisor peluru AK. Kawono. Mobil rotasi. Kawono Den peluru ijo, peluru AK Den. Iki barang Den. Arek muter balik ya. Rumah BTR. Iya. Kok rumah BTR apa? Bukit BTR. Cuk. Hit kepala. Ojo ojo. Gak usah, gak usah. Den, mundurna Den. Enggak peluru AK nih mbok coba ta. Ya. Pokoknya. Aku gak ro arek piro iku. Gak oleh vision ya aku. Konang nang Proma Tower ah. Mana kemana, mana anak dia. Wong piro? Kon pengen ngeflank ado aja. Kok tapi wediku kenok. Ngesmok. Ono nembaki. Mundur nang ndi? Mobilnya lo. Gak ono suara mana? Matanya mundur. Sekarat. Maju. Nice. Cuk, siji, cuk. Backup. Jepuk mobilnya. Ambu ini melarat. Aku coba smoke ya. Mobilnya auto kan? Sik. Cuk, tuku somai enake, cuk. Ono wong ta? Santai. Carry aja. Sabar. Mobilnya kotak kabeh, Cuk. Yuk. Mundur. Den, astaga, iso nyetir tagak sih. Manuke. Keker sik. Aku kene lah. Nang omahe, mobile rapi ae nang kene rek. Pepet no omah. Aran di cil ngeframe cil. Cok. Asu. Aku. Red zone cok nggonku cok. Denny. Jago backline Den. Red zone ya, awas ya. Siap-siap, nek ono sing kebledosan berarti ono uang, Cuk. Ngeframe. Ngeframe, Cuk, arah kono, Cuk. Sumpah arahku loh. Ngeframe, Cuk. Ngeframe, Cuk, mau, Cuk. Gak ketok. Kosong kok ya. Kosong. Gak ada mobil. Awas yo, parkir ojo nang pintu. Motor. Ngeframe. Arah motor mau ngeframe. Iso observer e. Aku ndelok arah W. W karo NE. Aman no mobil rek. Aman no mobil. Arek enang cekungan. Aman no mobil. Nak cekungan dah. Nak tandaku. Sing cekungan kene apa sing kene? Ya tapi awake dhewe open rawan ditabrak, Pak. Kene isih ono kompon enak. Gak usah ngoyo. Siapa ndek bagi? Ono bagi. Motor. Mandek. Wes kan? Cuk, wong papat nang kene kabeh, Cuk. Peluru ijo iki, ono M4. Pantau tandaku. Ayo, siap. Aku mati kelas no. Ancuk genar rek. Ono wong. Ya Allah, mobilku berasap, Cuk. Iso aku nyoba mobil ganti. Lawan sih. Perangi. Aku nyoba bagi. Sekarat iku. Sing mbok smoke sing endi? Sabar lah, nek ono konco kenok, ojo iku. Ledakno. Cuk, beda squad maneh, Cuk. Asu. Beda squad maneh ngisor. Tengah Cil. Nice. Dekem nang jero shelter ae. Waduh. Awas ya meledak. Kan kiri mono. Mburi mono. Nice try, nice try.
Had such a crunch on that southeast side, which is where they play from, and it was inevitable they had to take a fight. Right now the pressure is on, so just try and get the consistent points on board. Next up comes through, up to the northeast. DRS happy with this one. Another team that has to requalify, remember, but this team is largely much quieter than we do see Na'Vi.
Leeds United team finally taken down. They were harried on all of their rotations so far. Blue Bees taking a fight here against RRQ, I believe. Lufa has fallen, so has Divine, but they're not dead just yet. Kajowski trying to lead the charge out of Tatmok, out of that lumberyard for Loops, but they just get peppered from across the way. It's Godsend with excellent sightlines. The one tree is all that stands between Federal and getting taken down by Rolkis here. Has the angle, but not quite the bead. They will be able to look for that res, but they're out in the blue. They're out in the zone. Kajowski gets re-knocked, and it's zone 5. You can't get your teammates back up here.
Yeah, no, Karski at best can just drop his meds here going forward. It's probably the best thing he can do for the rest of his team. Godsend try and take shot as the players trying to make their way through. Golden will go down next. Bluebees taking aggressive position on the red side, just outside of RQ's position. A1 taking off backwards.
DRS with the backstab on towards Godsend, on towards A1's position, sorry. Loops really struggling to move through. Blue Bees, all 3 of their players down. It's just Regiocio now left in the fray, trying to carry them forwards, trying to see what he can get done. All of his 3 teammates are alive, but they're on the hillside. Aitachan getting rattled down and will be finished off by Victor. Carrillo finished off by Dante out on the west, and it's slim pickings right now for anyone not in these main compounds. Godsend, A1, RRQ. Nova XQF managed to find their way through. Loops eliminated in the meantime, but not before damage is done towards A1.
Imagine if there was one more player down for A1, Federal would have got a full sweep and clear. Look at this though, it's the real run-in right at the end of the game. Blue is pushing everybody together. RRQ with 4 members alive. Tactical position once again. I believe Bluebees went out in the chaos there as well. Now Nova XQF would love to make their way in. King is down and out. Paraboy outside within a shock. A shack with the rest of his team. Most likely will have to cross the road. Godsend also in a difficult position. I imagine probably the best position, the best play here for Nova XQF is just to take down teams that are trying to rotate into the circle, just because it's such open ground, and they have like somewhat of cover using this shack.
Excellent knock onto AJ there, one of the forward spikes for DRS into this next zone, making sure that Mafia Ninja kind of has to fall back here. DRS with their backstop duo trying to control the sightlines over towards A1, over towards Godsend as well. They're going to have to pull back just a little bit and give RRQ ground. Archer Gaming eliminated on the southwestern side. A1 now consumed by the blue. Godsend try to make their run, but Nova XQF are parallel right now. Jimmy down, order has been flushed. Paraboy last standing for the squad. Nova XQF may be looking for the heal off.
Paraboy alive, like you say, looking for that heal off now, just trying to make it through. They know that this blue is just bearing down on everyone at the moment. DRS slips out for just a second, 2 players down for his team. RRQ within this shack. They have set out too wide though, and this works out extremely well considering the circle moves directly away from that compound up towards DRS's position. And now it's D2E crawling up towards Godsend at the moment, looking to initiate this fight. G9 flying around the side now, both players stand up.
The pressure that RRQ exerting coming to a head now against Godsend as Victor just falls down. Absolutely brutal from RRQ. They dominated, they pushed out west and stopped anyone moving past that ridgeline. Now it's DRS to face off against them. A1 still have Jax out in the zone, healing up to try and ladder. Get those placement points, we'll see how long he can last. DRS looking to try and control the north. No one in the zone just yet as Beer 11 has the off angle. Maybe looking to push up behind the wall. A sneaky spot. Do DRS know about it? Mafia Ninja seems to have some information.
Like a sprinter on the block. It'll be RRQ just breathing slowly, ready to explosively launch out from this position as soon as they hear the gunshot. And it will be zone 7, which will be that indicator to go.
Nice knock there onto Nima, slows DRS down, something awful. Nades start to fly as A1 finally go down. Just these last two teams remain. Matthew Ninja falls, Ernie traded off RRQ. Beer 11 trying to swing out, racing against the blue, but DRS just get punished. RRQ exert dominance over the hillsides in Sandhawk, and a beautiful ending for them. They use that compound, they move out when they need to, and they make it happen.
Yeah, I'm really liking what I'm seeing from RRQ. Even just from that switch-up that we saw from last game on Miramar from them, trying to prevent Zeus from making anything happen from the compound that they have. Really good stuff. I'm liking these little changes that they're making. They're also really strong in those compounds going forward. This is what we're doing. This is the compounds going forward.
No, this is the RRQ train.
It's the RRQ train. We're going forward, chugging away. And I mean, it's going well for them as well. I do like it. I'm loving it. And honestly, those last moments where they sent too wide, where, you know, if you'd stayed in that compound as a 4, it could have been all over. But at that moment, RRQ knew that we have 4 players alive here. We need to start flexing our control over the rest of this circle. We know that everyone's been pushed into this position over open ground. And then DRS were just stuck in a really awkward spot where they had to contend with a couple of angles coming through. And Beer 11 playing along that little tiny wall there was just so fantastic. You know, Beer 11 is just one of these really, really good fighters in close combat. And I think RQ desperately do need him on side in those moments where, yes, they have some tactical players on the team. They have Ernie who can kind of flex out. You've got G9 who's able to provide a lot of good info. But you need Beer 11 in those final moments to really nail that final head in the coffin.
That is the phrase.
That is the phrase.
That is
Bruce
entirely-
Lee said that.
Bruce Lee did say that. Well, we'll find out what else Bruce Lee has said over on the Analyst Lounge.
Well, now that you say that, actually, we'll be only using Bruce Lee quotes throughout the rest of this segment. Starting now. Great games by all teams.
Is
I don't remember Bruce Lee ever saying that. I
don't-
be honest.
No, he did at one point. in
I
time,
remember
he did.
Bruce Lee said, I love PUBG Mobile Esports. Very good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Demon?
Yes. Moving on. 2,000 damage, 11 kills, big plays from RRQ. Great finish from them, actually, because, you know, it's the difference. Obviously, they had to move, but the spread they had. We've said this before with RRQ. Once they get control, they know that they sweep across that circle. Whereas DRS kind of just sort of stuck to the compound. They should have maybe gone a little bit more aggressive and asserted themselves a little earlier. As soon as they saw that circle come their way, they need to be looking, taking positions. Instead, they kind of stayed in that spot, and that allowed RRQ to get the wraparound.
I don't know about you, Max, but I definitely remember Bruce Lee saying that.
Yeah, I remember
I don't know
that,
how
yeah.
you remember that much. Let's take a look at the match results here and the points accrued for the teams. Obviously, RQ taking a big chunk of it, but honestly, A1, DRS, again, 2 teams who've only qualified for 1 Super Weekend. That is a strong showing from them and gets them 1 step closer to qualifying for the last Super Weekend.
I mean, A1 Esport really early on in that game, they were in Cal up north, and the circle was like literally in the backyard of Cal overall, so not too much of a hard time for them. They did have the heal off, able to get points ahead of the likes of Aerowolf, the likes of Godsen, and also above the likes of Nova Esports. So they just, from healing off, got 3 extra positions into this one and got 10 positioning points. So sometimes healing off is the strat, and it paid off for A1.
It's very interesting because it's a similar circle, and Xander said it himself when the circle came. He's like, okay, it's on tap mark. Here we go. It's going to be this circle again. 4AM have won from that point. Obviously, they weren't in the lobby, and for A1, they always end up clashing with 4AM in and around Cow. So it was impressive that they read the situation and said, right, no 4AM, this is our game, we're going to go for it. And obviously, it almost paid off for them. Unfortunately, when that circle does go that way, it does mean a lot of the southern teams will struggle. That said, though, RRQ dropping Painan, they made some great rotates to get in that position.
Yeah, straight eyes on the goal, eyes on the prize, right into the circle. But we had a weird fight. Navi Power Triple 8. That was an interesting one.
We'll just forget that happened.
Yeah, just like a car rotation from the first player of Navi. Not sure who it was, but like just send one forward. They're like, we died. Like, we're gonna do it again. It did work the second time in Power Triple 8. We're going to do it too. We just send 2 players forward, a bit of back and forth, then Ice, the last player of Power Triple 8, got peeked away by loops, and then they died. It was a weird one, and it seemed like Power Triple 8, or maybe going back to, we want to win and qualify on the final game. Please don't do that. Don't stress me out.
Let's take a look at our do-the-do moments here. And on that note about Power Triple 8, that is very true. Like, we don't want to see them give us a hard attack yet again off the bat here. But this was Execute.
Football
just
is
my gun.
Yeah, we forgot about this. I mean, Execute getting all 4 of them. And I've discussed this with Zute before, and they've often said, you know, the reason we gave up that top, if you think back to the game, well, this is the craziness. I'll get to it in a minute because
we've had one crash, yes. But what about second crash?
What about second crashes? Yeah, so going back to the point, they've said they'd actually given up on the hill and started to go just into the camp instead because of footballists going up there. Well, they've obviously sort of said, you know what? That's our hill. We're going to go there. And they also knew that Na'Vi, obviously Na'Vi and DRS have been fighting down that way over the last couple of games. So they're like, okay, Na'Vi are probably going to be spread on that south. So we have to now get this hill or we're going to be pressured by Na'Vi.
In league play, that's one team I would never want to challenge because they always seem to look so good and get top 3.
I mean, it worked out there. So you know what? I'm going to say execute. Good for you. You got to try and requalify in this 4th Super Weekend to make it in the top 16. But you were just mentioning DRS and Na'Vi that tended to clash onto the southern side of the northwestern island. They've given up on that.
Yeah,
they changed that drop location and they read that circle so well. I really got to emphasize that. They went for the rotation around the eastern coastline into the eastern side of Cal and went it that way because like the circle, it was a pretty somewhat southern playing path. We know the teams are going to come from the south. We're going to avoid all of that and they took a second position because of it. So this is more stuff like this I want to see from DRS. If they can do this on a regular basis, they can make it easy peasy into the Super Weekend.
This is where Nova picking off Bigatron and Team Secret ran over Na'Vi, basically. There wasn't really much they could do. Godsent, I was hoping for more from Godsent, I got to be honest, from this game. They did okay, but you know, when the circle was kind of centering on them, you're like, okay, this is it. They can get something from this. And then they were kind of just left in the... well, in the blue, effectively.
They tried, yeah.
Q.
And then it was like G9 and D2 like that. We got the high ground and they just like sprayed it down as a 2-man team and absolutely obliterated Godsent. And Godsent, you know, a little bit of an unfortunate one, but still, you know, normally going into the PMGC, this is actually potentially one of their worst maps.
Yeah,
I remember you mentioning that, but like in the EMEA League, it was actually one of their strongest maps.
Yeah.
So it seemed like on the international stage, they do tend to struggle a little bit. This is indeed a push of G9 and D2 that obliterated the entire squad, and they couldn't do anything.
This was a nice spread. So, like, you can see Ernie's down here. Beer 11 was with him as well. They got 2 up on the top left as well, D2E and G9, making this really nice spread control. Whereas you can see DRS, they're basically funneling from behind the building, and it's once it's like that, it's a simple kill shot straight on them.
I am worried though for teams like Bluebees. Again, 1 point. Obviously, their second game of the day done. Archer get themselves 3, but they had 11 points in an earlier match. Na'Vi 5, but they have a set of victory, so not too big of a deal. But Footballist, I'm getting a little bit worried for them. We're obviously 4th of the way through now, all the matches to be played in league play. And they are technically one of the teams that I personally expected to actually break through into the front page, if not the top echelons of that front page.
They've never been outside the top 3 in league play.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Obviously, they've never converted quite that into Super Week, but they've never been outside the top 3 in league play. I guess we wait and see. It is only 2 games, it's early doors, but you'd expect them to have that big pop-off game.
Yeah, exactly. They're very explosive. Like, remember that Vikenya game on Castle? That's one's in my memory forever. They always like tend to have that one big game that allows them to make it really high in the standings. So like that game has just not happened yet. I'm expecting that to happen eventually throughout these 2 days. I'm not getting too scared just yet, at least.
Okay, well, let's take a look at our total damage here and see how all the teams did perform in terms of that before we get into our overalls, because obviously we want an idea of who's currently not safe. We can see RRQ Athena, 2,000 damage done. We've had our victors have over 2K damage in every game so far.
Yeah.
Thinking back to our last day of the Super Weekend, we barely saw any matches over 1,000 damage, funny enough.
But look at DRS. 680 damage. They just sat quietly in their compound and waited for the points. So, I mean, it worked out for them. We also had a very interesting heal off at the end of that, by the way, which we skirted over. But Na'Vi, big damage from them again. Clearly feeling confident after having that first Super Weekend, and obviously carrying that confidence through into league play. I love it.
Seen Aerolf though, 654 damage, he got himself 4 kills. We didn't talk about it too much because I don't think it was worth mentioning. But they did go from an eastern coastline, a western coastline rotation, actually, making it through the northern side of Cal. And they were actually fighting versus A1 Esports. And A1 were like, we don't really want to take that fight. We're going to keep going further back in the south of Cal. And because of that, Aerolf had to go down to the blue.
I want to see more from Loops on Sandok. They dropped boot camp, for crying out loud. That's like the spot.
Everyone's avoiding it now.
The spot, and they've still not converted into a win here yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the Loops. I mean, we saw a couple times they like left boot camp, right?
On Erangel, obviously, earlier on, but on Sandok, they've just never seemed quite converted it into a win.
Maybe this Super Weekend, if they do qualify.
They're waiting.
Exactly, waiting to strike when the moment's right. And we can see now our overall rankings so far within our 2 matches played for each group. We have Na'Vi in first place at 33, Loops in second at 30. And you see Kanina Power and RRQ. I mean, Kanina Power, it's pretty similar to what we have with Class, right? They're top 3 at the moment with no chicken dinners, just playing solid throughout today.
This is what we're talking about. 52 points. 52 points max, that's all they need. And some of these are already halfway there.
Yeah, they played 2 games today and they already hit, like, almost got it done. And they got 8 games total, so 6 remaining. I mean, you just need a super small average. And the important part here, you've got to keep in mind, these points don't matter too much. Just make it in. Doesn't matter if you're number 1, doesn't matter if you're number 16. Just make it into the Super Weekend, then you've got to focus on points.
There's quite a few top teams missing from that top half
Yeah.
of the table. Obviously, we've got 3 pages as well because we're in the 24-team group stage. I think we're going to see a few low numbers here.
Where's 4 AM? Where are they? Oh my god.
Probably going to be on,
Where's
I would
Digital
imagine.
I think on page 3.
4 a.m.
Yeah, second or third page. Let's take a look now on the
third.
second page here and see where some other teams are going to be. A1's going to be there.
They're on the
Godsend's in
third
there.
page.
Oh, no, no.
Oh.
But look how low. We're already down to single figures at 16 because it's been pretty stacked at the top at the moment. So, which is very impressive. I mean, obviously these guys are all kind of the average middle ground. So we're talking about Archer. They're on 14 after 2 games. That's not bad for a team that's always been skirting in around the 48-50 point margin.
At least they didn't, like, they did go for Paradise was all that game, but there was not Class. So I'm going to give it to you this time. It's okay, Archer. You're allowed to do it. But Footballers, you know, 16th position, you said it, a little bit scared maybe for them. I think we got still a lot on the board for Footballers to show up. And then these are our bottom teams. And yeah.
4 Angry Men, Digital Athletics. I mean, Execute again skirting it despite the fact they got killed. Zeus, who've been in the last 2 Super Weekends. And the Blue Bees.
And Class.
Come on.
I'm
Come on,
surprised.
Blue Bees. Everybody loves the Blue Bees.
This is an interesting one. Like, there are so many teams down there, like Class, Funky Men, that I was not expecting to be out down there. Zeus and Power AAA also, maybe second page, but third page. That's really harsh.
Klaus skirted through with 52 points in week 2. So I'm hoping that they don't do it again because they have been so consistent in those Super Weekends. They're at 400 points in the Super Weekends.
Yeah.
So we know they can do it.
Well, they still have more chances here, right? It's not a big deal. You still have 3 more games to come out today.
Not a big deal. We said that with Nova.
Yeah, not a big deal. It's all right, guys.
It's the regret.
Yeah, well, we'll see what's going to happen later on. So maybe I am the curse today. You know, you're the curse? I'm the curse,
You're the curse now.
Let's head to a short break. When we come back, we have our 4th match of the day ready to go.
What's up? Hah? Ada.
Man, I am eternally like so excited, but honestly, it's hard for me to get like super like explosive because of just all the pressure that's going on right now. To be honest, like man, it feels like 100-pound. Like wait, I've been in this position before, and I can only imagine what these teams are going through right now. Looking at it right now, what I see is all that matters, obviously, in these next 2 days, in my opinion at least, is top 16. Gotta make it into the Super Weekend. Who's in first in these next 2 days? We'll worry about that come Super Weekend time. But right now, top 16. And here's the thing. A1, Execute, Navi, DRS, and Airwolf, in my opinion, even Blue Bees, if they do not make it in these next 2 days, if they're not top 16, their tournament's done. It's over, in my opinion. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a close one. Those teams that have played 2 Super Weekends and 1 Super Weekend, they need to make sure to qualify for the final Super Weekend. And just looking real quick, I know we don't have a lot of games to base it off of, but Navi currently at the top. This is not something that we have seen before, so maybe this is the Navi week. This is the Navi team that everybody expected to see, and hey, better late than never, Hot Jukes.
Bro, I think Navi week was last week. I mean, just the way that they showed up in their first Super Weekend, it was phenomenal. It was a great performance. I mean, I believe they're in 19th overall, but at the end of the day, they have to have a repeat performance. And the way they started today with 33 points, that's a one way to do it, that's for sure. These other squads, they need to take a page out of the book of Navi and start showing up here in the late game because like I mentioned, those teams, Execute, DRS, those other squads, if they do not make it top 16, it's over, baby. Pack your bags. You ain't going to the finals. And the paycheck for bottom 20 is not as good as top 3. That's for sure. But we'll find out who is going to be in the top 3 of this match here in the next few moments as we head into Vikendi.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 4th map of the day. We do have a total of 6. This is going to be on Vikendi. As we can see, the players loaded on up into the plane, and the plane starting up there to the north. Going to be starting over Cosmodrome and ending just on the tip of the water down there to Dino Park. Hot Jukes, if you're in this game right now, is this the plane that you are happy with?
It's dead center, baby. I mean, this is as good as it gets when it comes to Vikendi. And honestly, for me, I don't think any plane path is too difficult when it comes to Vikendi because the map's so small. You could stretch pretty damn far if you got them flying skills. And all these guys, we know that they do for sure. The only thing I'm thinking about right now, Dave, is are we going to get a water circle? That's honestly, if I'm in this game, that is the only thing I'm looking at right now is where the zone's going to go. And it's going to be in the water, baby. The same place that I called it in our last time we actually casted Vikendi over down in Milnar.
Big stretch. That's what they call it. Jason, our amazing host on the desk. And looking at this zone, kind of touching base with this one, they are going to be up there to the north. They might have the opportunity to gatekeep Nova. DRS right smack in the middle. DRS, they have played in 1 Super Weekend. That was the last Super Weekend, so they're looking to qualify 2 Super Weekends in a row. With this zone, it should be set up pretty solid for this Vikendi map. Jukes, we're looking at loops, we're looking at the name, even Power AAA all the way up there to the north. Like, these teams, loot and scoop, that has to be the objective right now.
Yeah, get going. That's really all you could do. Honestly, when it comes to the unnamed, I mean, they missed 3 Super Weekends so far. If they make it to the top 16, all they're doing is really crushing another squad stream, I think, at this point. So they can play spoiler. They can pretty much do whatever they want. I think that if I were them, just use this opportunity to, you know, improve your gun skill and get your squad ready for the next upcoming tournament. Because this is
the best, the highest tier gameplay you're going to possibly ever get compared to any other lobby, that's for sure.
I mean, they made it this far, right? They made it this far. They qualified from their region to play amongst the best players and teams in the world. This is going to be their last opportunity to qualify for that last Super Weekend. The Blue Bees, we heard Maxman on the desk a couple minutes ago saying how he wishes that they could crank up that aggression just a notch higher. We shall see. I mean, Auto-Chan, we got that double barrel shotgun. We got that new skin, I believe, dropping about yesterday or today. So Auto-Chan extremely happy as we have came to know that they love the double barrel shotgun. They call them the bulldozers of Japan. Looking on over here, though. Archer Gaming, another team that has not qualified yet. They have been having an okay start to today's matches, Hot Juice.
Yeah, they've been doing pretty decent. They've been doing pretty decent as well. And I think that they're in the same position as the Unnamed, because missing 3 Super Weekends, in order for them to make it top 16, they have to qualify here, and then they have to get over 150 points-ish in that Super Weekend, and that is an insane task. But regardless, if you're able to qualify, just like I mentioned, you know, the experience that you're going to be able to get during a Super Weekend, it's great. It's great. Not to mention, you can make some, some highlight reel plays that you could throw in a montage.
That is true. And just, you know, looking at the teams, looking at the positionings in general, Archer Gaming looks like they're attempting to possibly gatekeep Godsent over there, who will be most likely rotating on in. Using that bridge that Fabian is currently, you know, tunnel vision on right there. If Godsent, if they pile in 1 vehicle, maybe even 2, Fabian, I mean, 1 clip, 2 clips, that could be 4 kills.
Aku jago orange.
Could be big. And in all honesty, like when it comes to Archer and the Unnamed, like obviously,
bukit biasa itu.
I always like to keep it real. I like to keep it real with everybody out there. And when it comes to these 2 squads, like I mentioned, my opinion, missing 3 Super Weekends, it's over. It's over. That's just my thoughts. You know, at the same time, though, I say that with a grain of salt, considering that, like you mentioned, these are the top teams on the planet. Somebody has to be in that bottom 23, 24. That just has to. It's just the way it works, right? So, I mean, the fact that they've even made it here proves that they're in the top of the world. It's just, man, these other teams have just been on point from start to finish. So, I'll be interested to see, like, the homework that they've done and how they're going to be able to show up here in the end.
When keeping it real goes wrong. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, well,
I love it, though. I love it.
I mean, like,
they do have a tall task. Yeah, they do have a tall task ahead of them. I definitely agree. But now's the time. Like, if there was ever a time to really show your fans and show your region and just everybody who has been cheering you on this whole time, like, okay, we might have had a rough start. We were caught off guard. That's just the truth when we go back to the whole keeping it real thing. But for them to change it on the final week and potentially perform the best that they can, they're going to walk home happy. They're going to be happy. They're going to be knowing that they tried their best here at the top echelons of PUBG Mobile, and they're going to be satisfied, right? So this is a very important week for those teams still.
Absolutely. I mean, when I look at these squads, what I want to see is from a team like, yeah, like you got other teams that are just so much more experienced and that just had a better, you know, few weeks. When it comes to these teams, though, you know, when I look at them, what I want to see is that spark. You know, I don't want to see a squad that just gives up. I want to see still them to have that championship mentality of like, all right, you know, we didn't come ready for this one, but, you know, last week we showed up and we showed our fans, we showed our sponsors, our team, that we can still make it happen. We can still make it happen, and come the next tournament that comes around, we're going to be ready. And that's what you got to show. You got to show here at the last week.
And that's the type of dude that I am too. I'm the type of dude that shows up and pours up. That Mountain Dew, that Game Fuel, doing the do here. We are going to be checking on in, looking at some interesting positions, some interesting rotations currently erupting on our map. Real quick though, the meta I was talking to is fun. The manager, the coach for Bigatron, and they pretty much broke down. And I want to get your take on this because a lot of teams are doing it right now. The meta right now in this lobby, fast rotations. Okay, fast rotations. That's one of the metas. And if you are slow, you have to be able to play on that unpredictable edge and just pretty much win your gunfight. So there's like 2 sides to the coin. Like, which side would you rather be on, though? Would you always want to be that team that just sends it real quick, goes center?
or will you feel more comfortable playing that edge and kind of leaving that unpredictable zone to decide your fate?
That's always, it's so situational, right? I think that there's, if you want to, I think all these squads should optimize to like rotate as fast as possible and get the best position. At the same time though, there's gonna be certain cases where a zone hard shifts and you're gate kept and you can't move. You know, it's really quick as we see Cosmos try to drive on by from Blue Bees. Looks like
So you have to be able to do both though, I guess, the moral of the story.
Here's the thing, you have to be able to do both no matter what, because I think that's why we see a lot of the top teams here are the squads that can do both. Because to be frank with you, back in the day, you know, I see a lot of the top squads, a lot of IGLs, a lot of people in the chat just complain and say, oh, you know, they didn't do good this game because they didn't get zone. Oh, you know, they didn't get circle, they didn't do good. But if you look at the top squads like Bigatron, like 4AM, when they get zone, they win those matches with a ton of kills. And when they don't, they still push themselves to somehow make it into top 5 with a chunk of kills. And that consistency is the reason why we see them on the top of the leaderboard. So yeah, absolutely, you have to do both. You can't, at this stage, you can't just say, oh, we didn't get zone, we lose. No way.
And you have to remember, if you boil down PUBG Mobile at the core, the zone is not your friend. The zone is not on your team. That shouldn't be something that your team relies on, right? Like you said, to win the game or get high kills. You have to be able to adapt to all the situations. And talking about adapting, we get a nice long grenade. Whoa, I thought that was right on top. So I win. Still going to be bleeding on out. Most likely will be thirsty. Yep, there we go. 1 point on the side of Aerowolf.
Yeah, Aerowolf Max is one of those squads I was talking about. They need to have a monster day here and tomorrow as well, because they got to make it to the top 16. They have 87 points. And Blue Bees is in 16 with 142. So you have to assume that those points are going to go higher as well. At the end of the day, though, I'm always the kind of person that says, like, hey, there's a chance, right? Even though it's a long shot, if we don't make it, there's no shot. So you got to still show up, and you still got to be able to do it. Got to be able to do it here. And they're going to have a tough time considering that, yeah, they got that kill, but they're in Castle, and they have to rotate past those remaining 3 members of Alpha 7 to get this next circle.
If they make it, promise me you'll make a shirt that says that no shot, long shot. Promise me you'll make that.
Bro, if they make it into top 16 into the finals, bro, I will.
No shot, long shot. The shirt.
Bro, no shot, long shot. I'll put that out. I'll buy their jersey and I'll put that as my name on the back, dude. I'm not even playing.
All right. Respect. Looking at the next zone over here, DA, they are going to be pulling in up there to the north. Power Triple 8 still in the blue. Looks like Loops and the Unnamed riding that same main highway, trying to make their way on in. Next zone does going up. Nova, Team Secret, Blue Bees, DRS. These 4 teams probably don't necessarily have to move, but if you're looking at DRS, I believe they are set up in a very strong position to gatekeep. And before we even get there, Bridge camp hot juice.
This is what I was just talking about a little earlier, but that's a great shot. That is a great shot from Hazelnuts to kind of help him out right there. Potatoes knocked up front. He's going to be in a lot of trouble. Super Una on the bottom. He has to find an off angle to try and help out his team. And if you're the rest of Aerowolf here, you have a tough decision. Do you take this fight, or do you just try and rotate off and try to get another angle?
Alpha 7 clearly have the advantage just because they are not slowly getting chunked out from the blue. But these shots might be the nail in the coffin, I guess you could say, for Alpha 7, because Abrupt Slayers, they hear these shots and they're wrapping around them, Hot Juice.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Aerowolf sent it that hard without, like, checking that bridge beyond belief, because they killed a member of Alpha 7. They had to assume that, oh, this bridge was going to be covered, yet still sent it, lost a member, and now they're getting punished for it.
I'm very surprised Alpha 7 are staying here for so long, as we were just looking at them. Abrupt Slayers looking to gatekeep the gatekeepers.
Doing exactly what they need to. They heard those shots, trying to come and pick up some points. That lay down there from Leon looked like he had that one in the bag, just not able to hit those last few bullets onto Vitit 2K. That's going to allow Alpha 7 to live a little bit longer, but it's also going to buy some time for Aerowolf Limax to start pushing up here.
It will buy them some time to maybe formulate a plan on how to safely make it on into the play zone. Not only that, this is going to shift the attention of Alpha 7 from Aerowolf to Abrupt Slayers right now.
Yeah, the thing is, though, Super Una got knocked. That is a huge knock right there from Aero. So that's their front man. So the last 2 remaining members, I think at this point, you just need to send it right back through the blue and find another way in. Because trying to get through here, good luck.
And to make matters worse, the unnamed throwing their hat into the ring as well. Instead of pushing right behind Loops, they decided to rotate through that castle area. So we're going to have 4 teams right on top of each other.
A turn!
The nice trade.
Bro, that was a straight turn. Like, he just turned on Vinci2K so hard right there and got it done. He's going to go over to Super Una to try to get this res. It looks like he's going to be able to get it off. What a play right there. That was clean.
Love Joker's high ground position as well, just making sure to stay close to the earth and make sure that they don't get surprised from behind from another team. And we're going to be checking on in. Alpha 7 looks like they are going to be in the Zimas, trying to rotate on out of here, get on into a safe area right now. Loops making their way on in still. We saw Godsent just a second ago trying to maintain their dominance on Archer Gaming.
Yeah, we're starting to see these rotations come on out here into this first circle. It's about to close right now. We'll see where it's about to head on over to.
Will we have more water? Will we have more water? If we do, that's okay.
But
it kind of centers up. So not the worst zone for a lot of these teams who are already in the circle. This will allow more time for Arrow and Abrupt Slayers to kind of duke it out there in the blue of Trevor.
Yeah, anytime you have a circle that shifts late back into the water, it's going to take away a little bit of land. But like you mentioned, it's not like a super devastating shift for these teams. They should be able to still find their way in. Airwolf was able to pick up Super Una there, which is a huge one. And that was because of that insane shot from Hazelnuts right there to save his teammate. So now because of that one play, they're going to have a 3-man still up. They're eating some blue here in zone number 2, but got to make a rotation and figure out a way to get into this next circle.
And at least when we look at Aerowolf, my eyes immediately turns to their inventory, their med situation, because they have been forced to use them for a long time now. So that's why we start to see them kind of pull back, use that ridge line for cover, and try to reposition with avoiding the fight. Players on the other end of that, they're like, okay, you guys, you can stay in the blue. We're not going to play this game anymore. We're going to make sure to set up in the actual play zone, and then maybe we'll have a round 2. Looking on over here, Archer versus Loops.
Yeah, Archer and Loops really close together right now. You can see Asung trying to be able to get a nade on the Golden. He's going to drive away from that one, though. And you can just see Loops riding their vehicles along the side of this hill, just trying to be able to get a nice little rotation. It looks like they are going to be able to. Great movement from them. And I don't see them trying to do any crazy pushes right now. Just trying to set up position and control this area of the zone.
Risking the potential to have your Dacia slide off that cliff into the water. It paid off right there. Loop's going to be right there on the shoreline. They know nobody's going to be in the water. So that is at least one angle. That's about 50% of their angles that they can confirm are going to be safe, that no one could surprise them from the back ends. They're going to be looking forward, though. They're looking at potentially pushing on into Konina Power and overthrowing their nice spot here as Konina Power. Little 2-2 split over here in the town. Rob Dini might have spotted a little head with that SKS.
Yeah, everybody's just trying to get some information right now, getting prepared for where the next circle will shift to. And Loops, to be honest with you, man, they didn't have to worry when it comes to those dossiers. You know why? Because they had those 4-wheel drive dossiers, you know? They kicked it into gear, high gear, and they just sent it across that little ridge line and were able to make it a little bit further by further. The one thing that they're really concerned about, though, is if the circle hard shifts away from them. Because if it does, they have to get through a ridiculous amount of squads to get into that next zone.
I already know. If that was me driving, that vehicle would for sure be in the water. That's just a fact. Aerowolf, Hazelnut still driving on around, trying to avoid these shots. Not only from Abrupt Slayers, but now Alpha 7, as they have 2 members over here looking right in their direction.
Yeah, they've been behind on this one ever since that rotation from Castle. And Senatexa got a nice little shot right there. Not low enough, though, to take him out from the blue. And Aerowolf, yeah, they've just been trying to get into this next circle. Looks like they finally will, though, but as a duo.
Hey, better duo than nobody. Power AAA onto Nova. They're making the push, Hot Jukes.
You can see Corpai there with that G36C trying to get that nice pressure fire. Good, solid nade, though, from King. It's going to help out big time. So Ice right now is trying to get that revive in the smokes onto TTOP. The big factor, though, is Corpai on this off angle. Has to do something because King is just nading the heck out of his team right now.
I love the off angle, the anchor position from Corpai. The thing is, though, they're so far from their squad mates that we see right now. The counter to that, they're not. Corpai does not have the time needed to make the push and provide that support and get the pickups.
Yeah, but hey, right now, if he just needs to be just doing tons of pressure fires, anything to just distract him, so that way Ice can try to get that res, but through the smokes, Paraboy able to get it done. Does get knocked by Corpy. That's exactly what he needed to do. That is going to buy a lot of time for Ice in this situation, and he's deciding, do I push this or do I go for the res? And it looks like he's going offensive here. 1v1.
Order 6 looking to wrap around King. Surprise right there, about 50% HP. We're still locked in the 1v1. The Bulls are at the horns right here. Ice able to run away with only 1 HP.
1 HP, that's like half an HP. I mean, he's in trouble. Order 6 is coming to finish him off, and he is going to get it. And that is super unfortunate. Corpy was looking to try and get another angle, and while he was trying to get that, oh man, left it wide open to get pushed. That push from Order 6, and now because of that, it looks like we're going to see some huge reses come out of Nova.
What I saw right there, Corpy, great angle, but then we saw Corpy take those shots onto Order 6, and that immediately alerted the squad of Nova. Okay, they have a player all the way back there. It's our time. It's our moment to push this and get aggressive on their 3 enemies right in front of us. And Order 6, they held down Corpy for just enough time to allow them to even get that close quarters combat fight right in front of them.
Yeah, that was really clutch. I mean, he was able to win that 1v1 with half his health. Corpy needed to just put some a little bit more pressure onto Order 6, just not able to do it though. As we move on to the other fight here, Abrupt Slayers are pushing onto Alpha 7. We saw them gatekeeping him earlier. Joker through the window is going to get the spot on the reload. Laid down, so clean. And this is going to be a nice little cleanup here as Law is the last one remaining. Ooh, trying to hit some cheeky shots through the window. Unable to find that angle. Switches to the nade. Has to go back to the Uzi. 1v1 gets 1. Tall order though. Can he do this? Nice pre-fires.
2.
And gets taken out. Good effort. Good effort though.
You saw right there, they wanted to toss that grenade. Just not enough time to do so. We do see the next zone. It does shift up there to the north to Dino Park. The unnamed Bucky gonna be up there in the zone. Konina Power looking across the road. They are running right uphill into the blue knees.
Yeah, that nade would have been really hard to push. I mean, the second you pull that pin, they're gonna hear that sound and they're gonna full send you. So tough play, but you know, he did his best effort. We'll see how the rest of the match is going to fare, though. DRS on top of Archer Gaming right here. DRS, a team, like I mentioned at the top of the show, need to have a great day.
Oh, AJ.
AJ with a nice nade. Got to connect. That was a sniper nade right there. Really clean. One remaining member as they are stuck in the smokes, and AJ looks like he's got another one right for him. And he find it, though.
AJ is looking for that double. They got the mollies down there. They are trying to get these additional points. Godsent, we can see, not too far from this. They might have eyes on this engagement here very shortly. As we see, DRS starting to make some moves here. AJ taking some shots on the squad of Godsent who are pushing on into Zeus.
Yeah, they're just trying to pressure all this entire area of this map right now, and AJ's trying to get these finishes as Rollkiss is driving on by to Zeus, like you mentioned, and he's going to try to get on top of this hill. He's beat up pretty bad. Going to get taken out of the vehicle.
AJ, what a heads-up play right there. I mean, they're keeping Archer Gaming pinned down, meanwhile trying to make sure to apply that pressure, that damage, to that intense crash from Godsent.
Yeah, by the way, this zone did shift hard all the way back into the land near Dino Park, so these squads are having to make a move on it.
Oh, no.
Zeus, this is super risky. Driving this late with those smokes, though, they're going to get the crash, jumping out, trying to get into the building, seeming to pay off so far.
Very fortunate. I mean, they saw the opportunity, wrote it down. They were able to successfully breach the first story of the compound. 33 Spellond on the roof right now. Duke, one grenade could spell disaster for Zeus.
Yeah, the rest of their squads, they're pretty split up right now, so Zeus have to press this up little by little, but there's nobody up top. 33 Spellond realized that. He got on top of the roof just in case. Here comes Zook to try and put some pressure with some nades, and he's going to do it. Great shot, knock onto Zol. And at some point here, they're going to have to start pressing this. Here goes, you can see him switching to first person.
Got that barrel as well, that 7.62. That thing packs a punch, and here comes the support from the other squad mates on to 4 AM.
I see some teams eliminated here. Strawn be able to come through the window. They did not see that coming at all. Pressure coming from all sides of 4 AM. Well executed, and they are going to take out Zeus right there. Really nice heads-up play from 33 Sharon.
dude put a ladder up to that second-story window and said, "Surprise, welcome, hello," and they were caught off guard big time right there. That just comes down to just game knowledge.
Gak
right
masalah
there.
sing iso nahan pressure ngono iku mek awakmu
They have to
karo
push. The
iki
next
Pak.
zone does
Karo
shift
sapa?
on into the favor of the Abrupt Slayers. Bluebees, they have been trying to keep Konina Power from safely making it on into his new play
Squad
zone.
sopo,
Now
Mbak?
is the
Squad
time to
sopo, Mbak,
decide.
sing
Do we
diratani?
decide
Awake
to try to get
diratani.
these kill points or reposition?
This is what you were talking about here, right? When it comes to, if you don't get the circle, you gotta be able to press up as a squad. Konina Power, Secret Jin are gonna have to prove if they can do that right now, as this zone, and zone 6 as well, is starting to close and it's
Yo
coming
sing
fast.
mau yo sing keloro
Team
perang
Secret Jin,
keloro kan.
instead of pushing through the forest, they're deciding to push a little down to the south and rack up some of those kill points like you were just talking about, Hot Jukes.
You can see them just
Iku
starting to make a
mau
nice
aku
little smoke
nge-pick
wall and
posisi
just
gak
trying to do
enak,
this
Pak,
really carefully. I
batuku.
love to see this from them rather than just some kind of crazy sand. Black-White, he's stuck trying to just full send, but Bluebees up on top is going to shut him down. Secret Jin are hearing those shots, and they're worrying about so many squads from different directions trying to possibly control this house right here, as it is just Luke Trimkowski there, and he's going to get picked off from JGZ.
Idle-chan, the last one alive for Bluebees, trying to take some shots to Blue Zone right on
Iku
top
mau
of him, and
apa?
this is the perfect window
Le-
for Team Secret Jin to
yo,
move
aku
on
wis-
into
wis-
play zone. They're getting peppered from
Gak
DA
di
right
granat
now.
sih, yo.
Yeah, it's so hard. They just have to just full
Aku
send
mek
run it. They're
gare-
going to use the
gare
bottom of
stun
that
granat,
hill
Pak.
as a little bit of cover to try and make it in. They cannot afford to even get touched, though, because if they get shot once or twice, like we just saw with Bluebees,
Tapi wis
that
lumayan
Blue
lah
Zone will
buat
finish them
Sanho.
off so quickly. So they have to be
Sing-
able to move through this as diligently as possible.
Sing
And we can just see
notabene
them
kene gak
just
seneng cuk
hugging the
karo
edge of the
Mapiki.
circle right now, and it seems to work out for now.
It is working out, but this is a Secret Jin
Yeah.
sandwich if I've ever seen one. You got the unnamed right to the north, and then DA to the south, and then Paraboy in the blue
Lumayan.
going out to the blue.
Sanho
Could
Sanho
have
aku rada
potentially
tenang
played
Rek.
a spoiler, maybe have gotten one knock
Okay,
before getting taken
maybe.
down. It all comes down to
Lek
hitting
misalnya
those
ono
heals
lho
on
ya.
time. But Secret Jin trying to avoid these grenades.
Yeah, Q's starting to throw it right on top of them, and it's only 50 seconds left on the clock. He's going to have to make a shot, but JGG's not able to do it, and that is going to be Secret Jin eliminated in 7th. Digital Athletics showing up right here as they're putting some good shots. King, though, from the unnamed, is going to spot them. He's going to give that intel to his teammates and try to get prepared for this next circle as Nova, XQF. It looks like King is the only one left inside of it, Dave.
Still alive, snaking it to make it right here. This right here, this is a classic DA. They get the compound on the edge. They don't only stay in the compound and use it for cover and turtle up. They make sure to press out. They have 9 kills so far. They still have the whole team alive. Jukes. This is something that DA, they have shown us over the 3 weeks. They're so good at doing. They're so good at keeping all their squad mates alive to fight in this late game.
They've got it going on. They got it going on. Not to mention they were able to get a crate in as well. So that's going to be some nice level 3 gear. Not sure exactly what gun they were able to pick up off of it. But we'll see how they're going to be able to use it. King is in the shack, and he ain't going anywhere. You can start seeing him throwing those smokes as cover. And I think right now he's just trying to buy some time and go for placement.
King's like, that's a
Tim
world
opo
spawn
mau?
Dacia.
Sing
Just
keloro
ignore
mau
it. Just
opo?
ignore it.
Tim opo?
Bucky tossing out some grenades, has the information onto Abrupt Slayers. Abrupt Slayers right there on the edge. They do have 3 up right here. They are named with 3 and DA with 4.
Yeah, we'll see how they're going to opt to play this one out. And the best strategy is just play it real slow and snake it to make it right now. Great shot through the smoke there. Nice spot from King. And he's just trying to buy a little bit more real estate. It looks like he is going to be at the edge of this next circle. The rest of the unnamed, though, man, they have to snake up as well.
I want to see a 1v1 against King G
Kalau
and
mau ngenok
King.
siji yo.
The battle for the crown.
Apa loro?
Will we even get there? Bucky spotted right there from Soulless.
I love
Oh,
it.
si
We
Gini
might just
Denny
see
ya?
it. We might just see it, but I don't know. King from Nova doesn't look like he's going anywhere right now. He is staying
Let's get
in
the
that
next
shot.
zone.
Asline
Yeah, let's get the next circle as well. So that's
apa?
huge right there for Nova XQF. Q trying to hit a nice nade. It was so close. Pieced up Heaven X quite a bit, and he's only got 8 bandages left. So he is going to be stuck doing that. What?
Oh!
Oi oi.
Oopsie! That's what they said right there.
Oopsie, I think right there for sure. Oopsie.
Hopping in the
Asline
Zima, trying to use it for
iku sih,
cover right now.
mau
Looks
iku
like the pressure might be
awakmu
getting the
pas
better half
arek
of them
jejeran
down there.
ngono iku
As King from
Tapi kok
Nova
arek sing
trying
paling
to avoid
sing
the
jejer, paling
damage from
dempet.
the mini red zone that DA are currently laying on this shack. DA, they know there's a player in here, but this shack
Oh,
playing
ketarik
such a
ya.
huge role right now for King.
Ayo Rom
And
yuk.
I think King threw those smokes
Jejer.
down purely to block the sight lines, so that way they can't easily thread a nade inside of it. So that is a really, really strong play from King. The smokes, though, are starting to dissipate, but Racy has to worry about Abrupt Slayers. He's going to be able to catch Chari away from right at the edge of that smoke. That's going to be one knock for them. And they're going to start pressing up little by little. Q's got a great off angle, though, here on DA.
He does. If Silas can spot out Q, take him out, that's huge for DA. There we go. That's huge for DA. DA have a 3-1 split going right now. Silas trying to make sure that the unnamed can't safely make it on into the zone over there to that northwest. Then DA, they got the numbers advantage. They have 2 crates on their end of things. King still trying to survive.
No, Silas is straight crack, dude. That prediction was nuts, and now Digital Athletics are just having their way with the rest of the lobby. 14 kills to their name. After that, though, King will secure... Oh, gets a... What? An insane shot from Salim. Tries to make something happen, but it ain't gonna be enough. It is all Digital Athletics here in the end.
It's kind of hard to lose, at least in the book of Dave, when you get 2 crates and when you have 4 up and you get those final zones. But they made it there, right? They made it there. That's the big takeaway. They made it there, right? They set themselves up to even have the opportunity to stay alive at the end. And then we've got to give our props to King from Nova. Really heads up play to be the solo. You'd be like, okay, instead of playing the edge, instead of snaking it in a tumbleweed, let me go to the shack. And yeah, it worked out big time. And like you said, those smokes from King, those were great.
So smart. And at that point, you got to see the squads that are able to get placement even in the most dire situations. So it's a really heads-up play from Nova to be able to secure that. I'll tell you one thing, though. Like, yeah, I look at the book of Dave. And yes, you know what, though? When you have all those things lined up, should be an easy dub. But I'll tell you what ain't easy. Getting a dub and 15 kills. That's the hard part right there. Getting 15 kills in this lobby, no matter what kind of zone you get, isn't easy. So to see that they are just continuing to dominate here at the end of PMGC is so great for them. And that's why I think we see them in 3rd place overall during the Super Weekends.
Not too bad. And then Zeus Esports, they had 6 kills. Bluebees, hey, Bluebees coming into that game. I believe D-Man mentioned they had only 2 points. They managed to get at least 5 kills that one game alone from up there on their mountaintops spraying down on Konita Power. So that might have just been the game that Bluebees needed to kind of reset and build that confidence to make sure to qualify. But ladies and gentlemen, that is Vikendi. Let's head on over to the lounge.
He was really excited to throw it back to the lounge. I don't know how to take that. I mean, his excitement...
Get you.
Yeah, was he shooting at us? I mean, I know it wasn't aimed correctly, so I'm hopefully not too worried. But you know what, Max? Demon can seem to get predictions right. Why can't you?
I'm so mad. Like, he mentions class once they're going to win it, and they win it. And I do that, they lose. Like, what have I done wrong?
Well, he said at the beginning of the day, class haven't had those big standout games.
Yes, but he mentioned it around the game, like, oh, I would like to see them do good.
And then boom.
But 15 kills still.
Just maybe you should try to take the energy from him and prediction power.
Just said they're putting it on Vikendi, you know. They obviously had the good result with the Loops Navi game. That was what I was thinking.
That's 30 points.
15 kill game, 30-point game. Suddenly they're up in like the 2nd or 3rd position after one game.
They were bottom 8.
Yeah.
Bottom 8, like rocket launch all over to the top, and now they're good to go.
What does a rocket launcher sound like?
I'm being Zuxi right now.
It's like a car rocket. It's like,
I mean,
what is a car
Elon Musk did send one up there.
Rocket.
Yeah,
what does a car sound like to you then, Max? So, okay, all right. Well, now that we know what
like show the players, stop with the car sounds.
Top 4 players in that last match. You know, Max, you could do sound effects, I feel like.
No, I probably shouldn't.
Wow.
You know what?
Oh, damn.
They're rocking it. All 4 slots.
That's
still athletic.
Is it
That's
the
what
first?
you like. That's what you like. Yeah, I think it might be.
I think it's the first time we got like 4 players of the same team all the time. Hell yeah.
I'm so sad you guys changed the subject there because I really wanted someone to like put your sounds into a car sound in PUBG Mobile. They just dub it over and that's the sound you hear as a car drives.
I know I'll edit one tonight. I'll edit one tonight for the memes. There you go.
But hey, look, Soulless again. He absolutely rocked it throughout Super Weekend and he's continued it. It's great to see all 4 members up there for the first time ever. First time ever, all 4 players up there.
They say to footballers, you're the top team in Turkey? We're the top team in Turkey.
I mean, they have been all week.
Yeah,
all
they
the way
have.
through so far.
Let's take a look at the results in the last match. 30 points you guys mentioned, but Nova with only 3 players again. Another solid victory.
Always
Solid
king.
points, 16 points.
Sneaky king. First game, he took himself the position for his team. Got into the Vikendi. They take top 2.
We didn't unfortunately get the king face off. The king.
Yeah.
King versus King G. But he's a true imposter. You know, I saw him vent in electrical. I'm pretty sure it's Ting every single time, but he was able to actually snatch it once again.
Another 13 points for Prop Slayers. I think they must be close to qualified already.
Yeah, I think so.
They're
They're going to be 40 plus points
They've
already.
just got to get decent points now for the next few games. Not even big wins, and just they'll be good to go.
Four Angry Men at least got points there, though.
Yeah,
Least.
and then the unnamed, 10 points. I think that's actually one of their higher scoring games they've had throughout the entire league phase. So again, we talk about teams that have not qualified for a single super weekend. If they do here, they could be keeping other teams out. But as you take a look at the other results here, Power 888, my heart.
Yeah,
Can't take
that's
it.
what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at. Down the bottom again.
Stop it, Power 888.
We said it in week 3. It's like, don't leave it to the last minute. I got a feeling we're going down to the last game for Power 888 tomorrow again.
They always took like
I
a
wanna
great
see
win
that.
on the last Vikendi game. That's always the one where they perform the best. They qualified super early, like in the 3rd week.
Yeah, they
like,
smashed it.
What's happening right now? You're dying out early like that, but not only them, but Airwolf, 2 points that game.
What?
What?
What was that?
What did I do?
We're going to have
It's a
dogs,
really high
dogs
pitch.
running in a moment.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did.
I think only Amy could hear that. I think she's making a return appearance
Oh,
here.
what was going on here? I mean, so they hit it. They hit the nail on the head. Like Aerowolf had already just got one of the Alpha 7 members, so they had to know that there was more players ahead. So then they all go on the bridge. I mean, this is not the Aerowolf I wanted to see in the global
They got
championships.
2 points this game.
Yeah.
They've been struggling yet again in league play. I don't know how, and I don't want to put any blame on them, but to go from 2nd overall in PMPO Southeast Asia to only qualifying for 1 super weekend.
I always love seeing the sends on Vikendi where the cars are flying over
the
the
walls
buildings.
and everything. Yeah. I mean, yeah, a little bit surprised for also Power 888 going into this one. They took some early game fights, but it's just not been working out for them so far. Hopefully they can adjust on the go. We had so many fights, especially happening on the southern side, because you've got to keep in mind, Phase 1 circle was a lot of water.
Yeah, we
it
had the
centered up
big
on
north
DRS,
strip.
and there was not a lot of room, and team like, we need to center now because there are not going to be that many compounds on this first phase, and that's why we had so many fights breaking out early game, because they had to fight for these positions really early on.
And Prop Slayers just getting the points, doing the business, working out well for them. And they are close to being secure already, which is incredible. I think that's what you'd be expecting of some of the big teams. And this is, you know, bearing in mind when they're one of the teams that are obviously in and around the bubble, they're going to be delighted. They're obviously ahead of the curve. They actually might, you know, they're in the chase for footballists. Footballists might not even make it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
He's gone and done it.
He did.
He's gone.
But he called them to not qualify, so it might happen actually. So it's not a jinx, but no, that was still a really nice game. I expected it. Like Bluebees, they were coming from the south, and they've been playing it pretty slow, very passive also on their side.
Which I love,
Yeah.
because they've always been involved in fights early, right?
Yeah, which is like in that fight in that game, I think it was okay for them to do so.
How
They
did
were like
Zeus
confused.
get to this building all in a car? How did they survive to get there? I expected at least one knock, but they got
John was like, "Oh wait, 4-man," oh, no. And it actually worked out for
Yeah.
them. They made
How
it
did
inside.
Fawn take down?
Lah. Oh iya. Dia bocil. Kok telat? Dia bocil. Orang download map paling bocil. Ono kan suara kabeh. Orang download map. Bacet. Levi. Leave. Bentar guys. Oke. Basic pertama mau arek Louvre. Let's go. Oh iya, ini enggak itu ya guys, bukan open room. Ini Scrim tour nih. Nah, jopo oke nih. Aman oke nih, gak apa-apa. Den awakmu kene Den. Kene yo. Kene sik gak apa-apa. Joko mobil. Cil, awakmu unfollow. Bocil ono suara gak sih? Cil. Bocil kene ae, Cil. Aduh, nggonmu soalnya. Oh kan bareng Denny ta? Kene lo iso dijopo. Yo ai wong. Ono toto. Gak ono uang sih sing terjun bareng. So far so good. Rek, semangat, semangat, semangat. Tunjukkan pada orang-orang Surabaya, Cuk. Hah? Kene yo koyoke sepi. Info mobil, info mobil. Ngeframe ya. Ngeprem. Enggak, nek lagi PMGC main lo, mesti enggak koyo enggak stabil ngono, Pak. Yo nek pas awake dhewe Scrim apa pokoke ngene-ngene iki. Nek apa main nek PMGC lagi main iku koyo servernya koyo rada enggak stabil. Soalnya servernya kan fokusnya nang kono. No, I know. Ono MP ya, MP5. Ini tandanya. Bocil kok gak ono suara ya sih? Sombong kan? Gak ngomong sih. Aku gak ono. Kan gak ono Vin nang kono. Ngumpul nang aku sih ayo. Engko gowokno ae G36C. Nek iso. Ya wis gak usah. Iso wis. Tak usah. Punya bensin enggak? Oh bocil kono iku. Bocil kono iku, kono mobil. Ngeframe cuy. Koyo nek lagi ono uang. Kali 4. Tak aku kan dulu ya. Cabut ya nang bocil ya. Kak apa? Karo golek. Golek apa sih awakmu? Nang rumah kene karo kono. Gak ono nang kene wis tak lut kabeh. Like a suit. Ya kan? eling-elingan iku, tapi arah Goroka tapi rawan nih. Mobil. Cil, ono mobil kan? Nak tandaku ya apa? Rotasi yuk. Ono MP nang kene, Cil. Ya. Tengah kan iku hitungannya. Kayak kerisik. Ono flare gun, Cuk, ngarep, Cuk. Parkir no. Miring mobilnya parkirnya genah rek. Ojo nang kono, ketok saka Goroka ono wong iki. G30. SMG KB liyane. Ojo rono Vin. Goroka ono wong. Ono flare gun. Apa mbok gawe ta? Ono kali piro? Kali loro ono gak? Apa hulu? Ya wes lah kene. Aku gak ada scope ya. Red dot KB aku. Kene. Gak usah. Komit nek tahan kompon ae. Lantai 1, lantai 2 karo arah sing berbeda wis cukup. Aku aslinya pengen rono rek sing duwe scope kok. Pengen rene aku. Tengah gak sih kono? Skopen. Ayo Rona. Aku dewean. Tumbalkan saya. Tumbalkan saja. Sepi. Ndak kayak mobilnya ya enak nang kene. Rodok tengah mana? Iki sing gelem iku bensin tolong gowokno Den. Peluru hijau iki nang kene. Sing bawah belum di-loot. Aku nahan dhuwur ya. Peluru hijau nang cedek jendela. Kecup. Waduh. Kejupuk ta iku. Ketak nang lantai 3. Ben sini cek kono Den. Be entek-entek Den. Nek nemu MP5 rek. Aku ndelok arah ESW ya. Delok kene rek, delok kene karo kene. Dua orang delok kene. Ono uang tandai. Kok saya ngelak? Tandai peta, tandai peta. Kuning iku bocil Pak. Satu wae tandai sing nandai. Dua bawah, dua atas kan gini. Ya bener. Iki gak ono sing delok arah WNW ta? Den awakmu ae Den. WNW. Delok arah tandaku. Nak jero ae Den. Ojo nang jobo. Lantai loro lho iso. Omah iki enak pek genahan sumpah. Arek telu ngono enak kan. Ngeframe ya arahku. Tanda oren ngeframe. Isi rodok tengah gini. Sepertiga zona. Ono perang ya. Nang kill feed sepi Pak. Iya. Nek wes iki lah saya gak apa-apa. Istirahat cil. Ono mobil tanda oranye. Rotasi. Dari kanan ke kiri. Dari W ke E. Max Vin Roto. Tandaku ya kono. Sik kenok ya. Iso-iso koncone mlayune rene ya. Mobilnya. Kon gelem acil minuman. Jupukno peluru iku, kene tak kei minuman. Telu nang dhuwur. Jupukno aku peluru iku, peluru apa smoke ta apa ngono, cil. First set. Duwe first set gak? Iya bagi. Zona mana? Sopo di tapping mobil, mapping mobil kayak ini. Ngomong bos. Thank you Den. Mau aku delok iku nang ndi ya? Vertikal. Zona ya gini kan. Terus gak usah vertikal, biar deket aja kok. Siap-siap ditabrak kene ya. Ono kene mantau 2 orang nek isok mantau kono. Enggak awakmu ndelok omaku nae, Vin. Awakmu kono ae, Vin. Iku tim apa iku? DT T2 rata iku. T2 rata. DT iku nang kono. Goroka aman, Cil. Ambu. Zona please. Rotasi ini muter villa iki, Cuk. Tanda ono rek. Panggone wong mau ojo dileno. Nah. SH please, zona please. OSH yang menang. What the fuck? Gak iso cuy. Mau ono flare gun nang arah Goroka, kudune nang kene ono uang cil. Ae dhewe njupuk kene ndelok omah iki. Ya apa? Lewat ijo-ijo. Lewat apa? Lewat biru-biru. Ngeframe yuk. Aku tak crispy aja ya. Lihat buri. Mundur cil. Lihat biru-biru. Ngarep kono wong. Rotasi. Ngeframe cok. Jupuk kiri nih. Ono wong kene nabrak perang. Ngarep gak ono wong kan? Rotasi ayo. Lewati. Tandaku nggak aman. Perangi kono sik ae. Nah iso. Forting. Nah, omong ngarep ae. Ono wong. Meden. Nice try. Dead replay. Screenshot. Dead replay, screenshot. Lagi anjir. lanjut bentar lagi guys.